Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to our webinar, Work for You. It is called the GitHub Issues Ticketing System, and the presentation will be called now at the moment Real World Evidence Pipeline. So let's see. I think we have a little bit elaborated presentation. We are still waiting for all to join. People are joining still. We have 19 attendees at the moment. I will unmute all. So all that joined now can unmute themselves if they want to say something. Welcome, everybody. Let's wait for a few minutes and then we start. Usually in these webinars, people are muted. If you have a question or want to say something, it's also possible to raise your hand. We will see it. Yes. Just preparing a few things because we need to share screen on the GitHub account also. Just preparing this now. And then we can start. Okay. Let's switch to the presentation. Good. This is also good. People are joining now. We have 30 people. Okay, I think we should start. Let me make the introduction round first of all. Here I have Thiago. Please present yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Thiago. I am a scientific programmer, and I am going to lead the presentation today, explaining to you all how we are leveraging the use of GitHub in our projects.
Very nice. Thank you, Thiago. And we have Albert also.
Nice to add. I'm also a scientific programmer here at UMCU, and I'm going to also be part of the presentation.
Very nice. Good. Okay, then I think Thiago is starting with the presentation. If you have questions, please raise your hand. I will move through it, and then, yes, let's start.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. Today, we want to present to you some new approaches that we are implementing in our projects regarding the use of the real-world evidence pipeline, the data processing, and the CDM, and all the check levels that we do in quality with our data inside our projects that are so important. So, yes. So, whoops. Oh, okay. I will start here. So, for this webinar, some assumptions. So everybody understands that data and software are important assets for us. And we are moving towards open science and fair data and software development. So the idea for this webinar today is to promote education how to understand how the source code is produced, how we are going to do data versioning, and to share some key concepts on how we can improve transparency, reproducibility, and accountability in all Vec4U projects. So this is the agenda for today. And I am here together with my colleague, Albert, and he is going to share the presentation with me. So the Real World Evidence Group works at the University Medical Center in Utrecht, and we are continuously developing and improving the methods for data transformation pipeline that can be applied to multiple kinds of common data models. And this group, our group, is a partner. We are a partner of great organizations and also groups of companies and institutions that are working together as the Sigma Consortium and the Vec4U network. So this is a list of our partnerships. And to leverage our partnership and how we work in collaboration with our partners, we, the group of scientific programming team, we are introducing new approaches to use GitHub. And the idea is to have the complete software development lifecycle inside GitHub. So from the planning of the project until the release of the final source code, we want to have everything tracked inside GitHub. And this is going to be very important for our future projects, because using GitHub like that, we are going to create a sustainable environment to reuse our code many times, and also helping us to scale, to have more projects running in parallel. Yes. I need to close the mic. Yes, now it's good. And to improve our capabilities using GitHub as a collaboration platform, we want to understand, you to understand, two main concepts. GitHub has public repositories that are open for all the internet, and also we have private repositories that are closed to people that is assigned to the project. So while we are developing something, we can be closed, private. And after the publication of the results and we finish the work, we may decide if we want to open the repository with the results and the source code or not. So the basic idea is that the check levels, all the check levels that we have in our pipeline and we are going to show to you today, they are public. So everybody's seeing what we are creating, and also what we are writing, how we are communicating. So public repositories has also public communication, and private repositories, they have private communication. This is very important for us to understand this very basic concept on how to use Git. And for the most important part of the work, the pipeline, nothing's changed. So we are using the same concepts that were established by Miriam. So we have the T1, T2, T3, T4, and T5 steps, and we are generating the study variables on the D3s and the analytic data sets on the D4. So basically, the changes that we are promoting now, they are strictly related to repositories that are involved in the T1 and T2 steps. And also, we are going to, in further developments, to establish a roadmap of improvements for all other T steps as well. So this is what we are calling the version 1.1 of the pipeline. This version is introducing to us a new way to work. So instead of replying to emails when we have problems, or sending requirements from the PIs to the scientific programmers, and from the scientific programmers and the PIs to the dApps and to the network of partners. Now, in this version, we are going to do everything, all the communication inside GitHub. So this is the most important advancement that we are bringing to this new version of the pipeline. And as well, we are introducing a new check level that is called check level 1B, that is also as a new repository on GitHub. There is like repository specific check level 1B. And also we are introducing how to create projects inside GitHub. So this is like the dashboard that is going to say to us how our pipeline is being developed for each specific study. So let's talk about the T1 step, and that is the syntactic harmonization. And we have some improvements with the check levels. So the most important improvement with the check levels are that now if you find a problem, because each dApp is responsible for running the level 1 R scripts to complete the check level 1. So if you are running the scripts and you find an issue, now we don't want to receive emails anymore. Now what we ask you to do is to go to this repository that is in this link here in blue, and click on issue, create new issue, and then give us some information. And Albert is going to show to you today how to do that in a live example. And also, this is like a scheme trying to explain briefly what is the check level 1B. So the check level 1B is going to help us to create a dictionary with all the possible categorical values that we may find inside each dApp. So we can do specific implementations to do what we need with the codes and to create the variables for the studies, including specific situations that we may find in the data for one specific dApp. So this is the goal of the check level 1B. And if you find any problem running the check level 1B as well, you can create an issue. For the check level 2, also, this is the new thing that is going on. If you find any problem running check level 2, you just need to create an issue on GitHub. So this is different now. Please don't send emails anymore to the PIs saying about errors, or do not reply to old emails with new topics. Let's try to have this very well organized on GitHub. Because when we create issues on GitHub, we keep the history of the issue, and the issue will be related to the specific line of source code that we implemented to solve the issue. So let's stop using email and let's use GitHub issues. In a few minutes, Albert is going to show to you how to create an issue. Also, the same thing for the check level 3. So the check level 3, they have been implemented to be specific per project. And now we are trying to implement a check level 3 that we can run once for all the main projects that we are doing now, so it can be also reusable. And if you find any problem during the check level 3, please open an issue on GitHub. So the pipeline has this scheme that is like a big picture that I will try to explain easily to you to understand some improvements that you are going to find implemented on GitHub. So everything starts with this Excel spreadsheet that is located on the SharePoint for Back4You. So on the toolbox, you are going to find this Excel spreadsheet, and for each project, the PIs, they can go to a list of variables and select, cherry pick each variable that he's going to include in a new project. So using this Excel spreadsheet, we are going to provide to us, the scientific programmers, like a master file with all the variables that we need to handle for each specific project. And this is done by what we call here the Viola script. Viola is our colleague. She's live now for maternity, and we are giving her all the necessary support using GitHub issues. So if you have any problem with any source code that you may find on GitHub, please open an issue. And together with this new Excel spreadsheet and the level 1B, we are going to provide for us functionalities that are much more powerful and will enable us to implement faster solutions for our projects. So this is like a specific scheme. It's very technical, but explains like a little bit how we are connecting an Excel spreadsheet to the R source code to have a better implementation of the project. So what is version control? You are maybe asking yourself why we are using Git and why you are putting all the source code inside Git. So Git is very important for us programmers because it tracks our changes. Every small change that we do in the source code, it will be tracked. And it's very easy for us. And sometimes it's a lifesaver. We need to go back like 1 day, 2 days in our development, but we don't want to lose everything else. We need just to remember a specific part of the old implementation. So Git does this kind of travel in time very easy for us. We can go to previous versions and go to the new version smoothly and very easy and without being in an error-prone environment. So the process of our work can be tracked using GitHub. You may find how many commits we are doing per day, and if you are like online or if you just reply it with a solution for something, everything will be inside Git. And it's open for everybody that is involved in each project. So to understand a little bit better Git, you need to understand there are two technologies behind Git. So the first one, Git, this is the version control system. It's an open source system that was developed and created by Linus Torvald, the same guy that invented Linux. So he's very smart. He is like perhaps one of the best software developers in the world. And a few years ago, he decided, I need to create a new versioning tracking system because the way that we are implementing software is wrong. What was wrong in the past? In the past, we used to have a central repository and everybody was pushing and pulling software from only one place. And this is not good for software development because you need to rely for someone, for one administrator, one single group of people that has the management control and the power to do everything that is necessary in this central repository. Git's not like that. Git will promote like the decentralized software development. So we have one instance that is in UMC Utrecht, another instance that is in Ars Toscana, another instance that may be anywhere. So all those instances, they are going to empower, give the empowerment to the developers, and also they are going to make easy the synchronization of the new functionalities that may be developed by each one of the partners. So this is why Git is so important. And GitHub is a place on the internet, github.com, that makes everything that was created by Git available for us on the internet. So all the source code that we are going to provide to the projects, they will never be like only in our computers. They are going to always be on the internet, on GitHub. that is using Git to track all the changes. So this is like a basic difference, but important for us to understand the concept behind what we are doing. So in a daily basis, scientific programmers, they are going to interact a lot with Git and GitHub, many times, multiple times per day. So this is how we can see that Git is being used properly. Everybody has a lot of interactions with Git every day. So this is very good. To use Git in the beginning may be like difficult and bring to us the sensation of a little overhead in our work, but it's going to save us a lot of time when we face difficult situations in complex software development. So we are using Git to help us to work as a group better, to collaborate. This is why we are doing everything like we are showing to you. So Albert, please explain to us now, how is the situation nowadays when someone faces an issue in the code, someone finds a bug, and how we want to change the reality to use GitHub better?
Yes, and I will do it now. Thank you. Thank you, Diego, for this good presentation and for introducing Git for you. So I also want to mention that you might wonder, why are we explaining all these things? I'm not a programmer, I'm an epidemiologist. Go away with this GitHub thing. This is basically because what Diego says, we're a group and we have to be a team, and especially with the dApps, you are part of this workflow we are working now, and you can see it now. And you're a key part to have a proper software development, especially of the analytical script that we're gonna run on your server. So we really need you to understand how this will help you and will help us to have a more smooth workflow and communication and less headaches. Basically, we will be able, if we use Git properly, we'll be able to have a happier future for all of us. So currently, we have this workflow here that we can see that we send you an email. Please, can you go to GitHub, let's say level check 1, and download it and run it on your computer here, right? This is running. Though sometimes, and then can be often, it appears an error, right? And then you're like, oh, this is not running. These guys, they did a bad code, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fair enough. But we need, and then you send us an email. That's the way you say, right? Hey, if this is not working, just fix it. Though this causes problems, because if there is a problem and we send it to all of you together, we get, if you are 5 dApps, we get 5 emails saying the same thing. And this is not useful at all. And also we are having emails for communicating specific problems with the source code. That's what GitHub is good with. So no more emails. And please, we ask you to go to GitHub, and we'll show you now how to go to GitHub. So the workflow now becomes exactly the same, but instead of sending an email and writing an email in your Outlook, you're gonna go to GitHub and go to a specific repository and open an issue, which is some sort of an email. So we can open this here. I don't know if you will be able to see it. How can we do this? 2 seconds. Here is the IT helping us. Okay, now can you see the screen? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, super. Yes, okay, you can see the screen. Okay, so you might know that we opened like relatively soon a new GitHub organization, and this is the RWE GitHub organization. We have here a welcome, and if you need access, you can fill up this form here. For that, you need access to the Bug4You SharePoint. So if this is not done, please fill it up if you need access to some of the repositories. Though the ones we're going to explain now, they are public. and they are the level checks, so there's no problem in that sense. So let's say that like I'm a DAP, Mr. Albert DAP, and I have a problem with level checks. So I want to report I have an error, and instead of sending an email, I'm going to GitHub and I'm going to the level 1. But instead, we made here a example of repository, so we don't create things in the wrong places. So let's say this is the supposed level 1 check, and I have an error. So we can go to basically issues. It says here in big issues, and click on open a new issue. Okay, for that though, you need an account. In this case, we have Daniel. He has an account in GitHub, and really good, Daniel. And then I'm just gonna report I have a problem with level checks. Though how I cannot report a problem? That's not that as easy as like I have a problem. No. So you need to explain it really thoroughly and really specific as much as possible on what's the problem and what means that. So first, a representative title, not I have a problem. Our answer will be okay. Maybe it would be more like problem in step X of the script Y. And then here we will describe the code, the line code X or Z in this case is giving the following error. And here you can either describe it more by hand, or you can even put an image. You have the opportunity to drag and drop an image. I would maybe take an image now, but we don't. So you can just drag it inside and it will appear. You can always put bullet points around here. You can even like, let's say I have these following errors, and I say my first error is A, the second is B, the third is C. You have thousands of options here to make it nice if you want to express yourself as you wish. And one detail which is important, you can preview before you send anything. So in case you put an image or fancy stuff, you can always preview it. So then when you create the issue, this side on the right side, you should completely ignore it, which is more specific for us, for the developers, to assign an issue to a specific person. Let's say the DAP that is writing this issue, let's say now we report it. Daniel, he has a problem in this case, and then we will assign it to either someone internally to us, in my case, to myself. So please don't touch this because this is our work, and that is how easy you can report your own problem in here. And at the same time, like I will do it right away, I could answer you the problem. I have another computer here. Hold on. And then I can answer you. In this case, like we just said, this simple answer, but here we can reply and have a interaction on how to fix that problem. We will probably bring you the solution, or if we cannot find a solution, we'll probably ask you to meet in a online meeting through Teams or whatsoever. Though, let's say that Daniel, again, he has another problem, but it's not related to this one. It's related to the level 1, but it's not related to this problem. Therefore, he needs to open a new issue, because this kind of problem, they're related to the source code. So this is very like in the lowest level of the program. It's not about having a problem. It's like in which part of the program you have a problem. The program have a problem. So here you will report another problem. Let's put it a bad title, whatever, and he will submit it. And then we will again reply to you. So that's basically the workflow. And then we just interact here. In this way, we will be able to track what we discussed. If someone has a problem that has been in the past, we will refer you to the previous problem. So in this case, we could answer here, please go to X issue, which has been solved. And at the end, we will close it. The issues can always be closed by either the person in charge or ourselves by closing the issue. In case you always feel like, okay, I don't need that help because I found a solution, you can always write it here. I found a solution, and you explain it, and then you would close the issue. So that would be my explanation? Do you have any question?
Yes, I think that is very important to understand that for each kind of error, we need one specific issue. It's not like an ongoing conversation. I solved the first problem and then I ask for another help in the same continuous issue. No. If one error is solved, we are going to close the issue. And if we have another problem, we need to open a new issue. This is very important for this whole process here.
I see one hand raised. Maybe we can take this question. From
Yes,
Ursula.
Yeah, this is Ursula. I have two questions. One is, once an issue is closed, I see the button reopen. So can this be reopened?
Yes, we can just reopen it here in case if it's needed. If it's the same exactly issue, maybe we close it because we've been miscommunicated. There's been a miscommunication and someone closed it. So
Yeah,
in case,
for example, if I have an issue and you send me the answer and I cannot solve the problem with this answer, do I reopen and then comment here?
Yes, very important. So we can understand also when we need to rework, like we think that we have a solution, but we don't have the solution.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
like a complete solution.
And then the second question is, before sending you an issue, is there a possibility to check if somebody else sent the similar or same issue?
yeah, you can always,
Yes, you can always take a look on closed issues first. So over here on GitHub.
And how do I do that?
yeah. So in here in issues, you have the list of the several issues being and also closed. So you have the ones that are open. You can see they are open, but you could either go to the ones that are closed, and then you check if there is anything related to what you are having the problem with. And there you can go and probably find the solution. If you otherwise open one issue that is already solved, will probably answer you, go to this issue that is, you might find the solution. Not you might, you will. So yeah, that's it. That's in the, yeah. How does this link?
Then we have another question from Debs. Two questions.
How does this link to our own individual GitHub accounts? I'm not completely understanding that. Can you?
I think that I understand. So as I was saying, the public repositories, you can just go there and open an issue. That is open for everybody. You can go there with your own GitHub account and create an issue. But if you need to create an issue for a specific project that is private, you need to get in contact with us. So we are going to include you inside a private project. And then you can do comments and open issues on private projects as well. For the check levels, they are all open.
But you need an account, a GitHub account for that. So you need to create your own GitHub account and then go to our organization, GitHub organization. It's, yes, we will share to, whenever we send the, let's say the level 1, we'll report you like, look, you can go now to this link and download the script there. You can also use the same and go to issues instead. So instead of, in case I report, look, go to this link, test repo and download the code, right? You will normally go here and download the code and then run it. Instead, you will use the same link and go to issue. Yeah, one thing detail I forgot. From so on, whenever we're gonna send you an email that you can run a specific script, we will also at the same time make a release on that script, which means we are creating a version which is frozen and it's not gonna change on time. It's like it's a pure product that then each one of us can reference to this as a version that is being run. So what do I mean? Let's say like I send the email, run the level checks 1. Then if you go, whenever you're gonna go to the repository to this link, you, instead of downloading here, it's just I said 2 seconds ago, but instead of that, you would go to releases. We will tell you exactly which release to download. you just click one of these links in case I want to download the release 2, and then you just have to press either in the zip or in the .ts, and then you will get the source code. You will take it out of this zip in your computer, and then you can do exactly the same as before. So this way we know exactly which version of the code you've been running in order to track also the errors. Because let's say if after a while, let's say release 2 has many problems, we fix all of them, we're gonna make another release. And then after that, there's no more problems. So if you come with a problem from the release 2, we will probably tell you download release 3 instead. So that will also come through the emails, but we will follow this workflow. We sending you an email informing download this release, and then contacting us to GitHub issues.
I see, Debs, you have a microphone open. You want to say something?
No. I just wanted to. So I suppose we can just essentially use the link and get into this private GitHub account, and it's kind of independent of our own sort of personal GitHub accounts that we have.
Yeah, so in GitHub you have your own account, let's say Facebook, like you have your own Facebook profile, and then you have other groups, right? Like you can group fans of Football Club Barcelona, and then you will get in there, and that's like a repo, and then it will give you the link to this group on Facebook, and there you can download. So there is a difference between, say, a repo, repository, is this project where there is the code inside, and then you can download either through a release or through the bottom download code.
Yeah. Okay. So but either way, you need to have a GitHub account.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have Christina, raise your hand.
Yes. I have a question. In the issues, is there a way? So after some time, there may be many issues, and it becomes like email inbox, everything mixed. Is there a way to create folders, or to organize this in a way that maybe if I want to know something about level 1, there's somewhere that's level 1, somewhere that's level 2. It seems to me that at the end it may be like a huge inbox.
Okay, so starting so the issues for level 1 will go to repository of the level 1 code. The issue for level 2 for the level 2 code, the script or repository. Then we can also label them, the problems, by defining a label. So we can say definitions, and we can even create a new label, which is solutions. And there you can, you don't need to know this, but we will probably define these groups. So then we can define one which is closed already, and it's a proper solution as a solution, or many other labels. So we will organize them in order to give it an order in there. But then again, I would like to say that it is not like an inbox. It's because here we can actually put the reference directly to the part of the code that your problem refers to. In the email, you can also refer to that, but there is no connection. In here, it's actually where we have the code is in GitHub, and that's how we provide it to you. So if you tell us we have an error in this line, which you can actually do it, and we could present it now, an example. There's actually a connection with, we will know that.
Yeah, so for example, here I'm showing to you the open repository for conception level 3. So all the issues related to check level 3, they are going to be open here inside this repository. So this is very important. Check level 1 is one repository, one place, one folder. Check level 2 is another folder. Check level 3 is another repository. And for each repository, you have things that are open and things that are closed, basically. And then we can have like some taxonomy defined to segregate things that are not bugs. For example, this is just a question, or this is related to the documentation. Then we are going to have a specific tag for this kind of issue. And also we are going to have the tags to identify code issues, and then we can manage those tags like in a different manner.
Okay, and can we create a repo? So if there's something that's not already existing, I want to talk with Alberto about something that I don't see a repo there. Should I create, or I need to ask you to create that repo?
Can you give me an example? Because repositories, they are like very well defined, or they are like a check level, or they are a project. Can you imagine something that do not fit on check levels or on projects?
Christina, this is where we opened discussion about the smoking, for example. No?
Yeah,
Like,
so we had discussions about defining variables about smoking, and that could be
yeah.
project specific or could be for all projects. So I'm not clear where should I go to insert that issue.
I don't know if the people will want to go there, but that's in a different discussion forum, something, and not in the issue.
Yeah, so I think this is more a discussion across PIs, relationship PIs, and software programmers, right? Developers, or is it also including that?
Maybe you can show the groups where we have the discussion.
There is, in fact, because we are still unsure of the use of this, but so. But this is for relationship PIs and programmers, so it helps to develop, and this is not public. We try to have it private within the project on how things are discussed. So let's say we have there's an option. There's an option in the GitHub which is Teams, and we can invite people in these teams either from external organizations or part of the RWE. Then we can organize you in different teams that will give you access to different repositories. But also within these teams, there's a part called discussions, and there you can discuss about topics, general topics, in fact, not related to the source code, but more like a decision on how to make decisions towards, like, let's say, for your past studies about concepts, and so on and so forth, which actually, Christina, you are working here with Daniel, and I presented you this option. Now it's a bit more tricky though, but so that's, Christina, what you were talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is, we want to divide what is related to source code that goes directly to the repository and that relates directly to the script, to what is discussions across PIs that you could use the discussions. But it was not the purpose of the discussion today, the presentation.
Yeah.
We are unsure yet if we want this or not.
Yes, the discussions are like open forums that we can make them closed forums just for the conversation, private conversation that we need to have for like general definitions. But today we want to focus on issues, not on discussions. Discussions is something that we can improve and do a good presentation later also.
Good, then we have Beatrice has raised her hand.
Hi, I have a question regarding when we open an issue, how we are going to obtain the answer. We have received an email or some kind of notification, or we have to access frequently to the GitHub to see if you have answer.
So when let's make an example, like when you open an issue, you will get a notification whenever someone answers to it. Though you probably can have other options on it. Let's say, let's take a look at it. Yeah. You can, so you see here in this button says unsubscribe. So if you're not subscribed, you will not get any notifications. In this case, now Daniel will not receive any email whatsoever if he's not subscribed, and then he needs to have it subscribed, obviously. And that's how the way you will get the notifications in your email. Now remember that whenever you open a GitHub account, if you only work with your email from your organization, work whatsoever, and you want to get the email, notifications in that email, you need to register to GitHub with this email. Otherwise, let's say you use your private email, and then all these work-related emails will go to your private, and then you might not see that. And you will question yourself, why these guys are not answering? No, in fact, you are getting the email in a different account.
Okay, thank you.
It's the email address that you register in the
Exactly.
setting. Then you did question. We need to log into see. Do we need to log in to see whether you answered an issue or not? Yeah.
Yes.
The question as Beatrice did. Yeah, you already solved. Thank you.
Good. Is there anybody else? I do not see any hands anymore or questions, so I would propose we continue. You want to the presentation, or do we need to finish anything? Or you want it for good?
I think that we have
Yeah, we have more slides.
Do you see now? Yes, you see this one.
Yes, before we finish, just like to say that we have this new implementation of GitHub issues in action for 3 projects, AstraZeneca, J&J, and Pfizer, and we are starting 2 new projects, the Cove, Consign, using as well the GitHub issues and the repositories that we explained to you all today. And the next step is to make the configurations for the project management tool inside GitHub. So this is a screenshot of one of the projects that we are piloting this new functionality. So we are going to have like a Kanban dashboard with things that are in our backlog. It means things to be done, things that are ready to start, things that are in progress, and things that we are reviewing. So this process of moving each ticket, maybe one ticket is one issue. That's how we are going to move the issue until we have the solution. So the issue will appear in our backlog. We are going to move the issue to the ready column when we have all the information necessary to start the implementation. Then the issue is go to in progress, in review, and done. And you that open the issue, you can see where is the situation and how the issue is, if it's advanced or it's late, or if the issue is already has a solution or it's not started, for example. So this is the next step in our pipeline that we want to leverage the use of GitHub. And as well, we want to introduce other functionalities and new upgrades. So we are thinking about a roadmap to have better functions also for T3, T4, and 5, and also to implement the conversations and the projects inside GitHub. So GitHub issues, it's a very important step for us now to make our relationship as partners stronger and to improve our collaboration with this tool that was designed for remote collaboration. So we are using the best tool to implement this kind of work, and we are sure that you are going to be our partners, starting to open issues, stop the emails, and if something wrong happens when you open the issue, we are going to be the first one to see. We are subscribed to all the repositories, so we are going to receive alerts and emails when you create a new issue. And if something is not good in the first try, we are going to reply to you until things are good enough so we can reproduce the error here in our settings and give to you a faster response with the solution for the issue. Thank you so much, everyone.
We have another question from two questions from Debs.
So can we comment on existing existing open issue, if you have the same issue, yes, you can. No problem. You can, if you have an account and the repository is public and therefore you have access, you can comment them. And also, if we have an issue similar to a closed one, but the solution provided does not, I cannot see the whole sentence, but I guess it does not give a solution or does not work for us, we will get a new issue, we open the old one.
This is a good question. If the problem is the same, exactly the same, and it's not working just for you, so the issue must be reopened because the problem is the same. Each issue, one problem. This is like the golden rule. The problem, one issue, one-to-one relationship. So if it's the same problem, yes, please reopen the issue.
Any other question? I think we don't have so much time anymore, 9 minutes. Maybe you want to say something.
No, if there are no comments or anything, this will be recorded or is recorded. We will put it on our website. If there are any more comments or questions, please reach out to
Open issue.
Open issue. Yeah, I think we have covered a lot. Are there any last comments, any questions, anything you would like to share? No, I don't see anybody. Good. Then it remains to thank you for your participation, and to Thiago and Olga, thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
They have the open